Hello guys, welcome back, and if you're new here, welcome. My name's Kendall and I usually review beauty products, but I have a really highly requested video today that I promised you in my favorite skincare of 2021 video. So that is my video all about KP, my KP, and how I cured it. So if you're struggling with KP, I'm making this video for you. I know I struggled with it for a little over 2 years, not knowing anything about it, why I had it, and also how to cure it. I'm gonna preface this video by saying I'm not a doctor, I'm not a professional in the skincare industry. I'm just sharing what worked for me, and we all have different skin, we all have different levels of these issues, and so I'm gonna talk about mine, and if you guys can relate, then maybe some of the products I'm gonna talk about will also help you, and that's what I'm hoping for today. So KP is also known as chicken skin. I hate that reference, and also strawberry skin. It's called Keratosis Pilaris. Hopefully I'm pronouncing everything correctly, but basically it's the little bumps that appear on the skin. They can be on the back of the arms, they can be on your thighs, they can even be on your face, but most commonly people suffer with it on their arms, and I suffered with it on the back of my arms. So these little bumps can be raised, they can be red, they can be inflamed, they can look different on different skin tones, and they can be peskier for some people to deal with, and for other people they come and go. It's just another one of those strange skin conditions. There's not a whole lot of understanding on where exactly KP comes from, but basically what it is an excess buildup of skin in the hair follicle. So it's a plugged hair follicle, if you will, and they're very, very difficult to deal with. So let's talk about my skin first so that you guys can have an understanding. So I have dry skin. I also do suffer with eczema. My eczema has been under control for a really long time, but I'm actually having a flare-up right now, and I can talk about that at the end of the video. But eczema-prone skin actually can also be more prone to KP. They can go hand in hand. If you have other skin issues, it's likely that you have suffered or maybe are suffering with KP. So dry, irritated, sensitive, eczema-prone skin is my skin type. With my KP, it was raised little bumps all along the back of my arms, but they were skin tone colored, so you couldn't really see them if you were just looking at the back of my arms, like say I was at the beach or something, but if you felt my arms, you would definitely know that they were there. So I had not had them all my life, but recently, so the past 2 years, I've been dealing with it, and honestly, I wasn't really sure where it came from. I have some theories because I always wear tank tops, and I recently got a car with leather seats, and I kind of thought, okay, maybe there's like some rubbing action happening on the leather seats, or maybe my seats aren't like as clean as they could be, and maybe lotions and other stuff are just getting into those hair follicles. I don't know where they came from, but my guess is that it was environmental for me. So with all of that information on the table, I want to move into the products that I use to get rid of KP. I am not going to claim that they will work for everyone and get into the scientific side of things. I will explain it to the best of my ability, but this is what worked for me. Okay, so the first product I'm going to talk about today is not the end-all be-all cure for KP, but it's the first product I started working into my routine where I slowly started to see those bumps start to soften, and then a little light bulb went off in my head and I decided to expand the skincare routine for my arms. So the first one that I started using was actually the Balm Dia Bright Cream from Sol de Janeiro. I've done a whole video on this, but basically this has chemical exfoliators in it. So I realized I need chemical exfoliators, I might need physical exfoliators, and we need to start working on getting rid of that dead skin. So this I love. It was the first one that I tried. It did not get rid of it on its own, but I do think it contributed. I think it started the game for me to start getting rid of it. And I do still use this on the back of my arms to keep the KP at bay. In my mind, all of these things are doing that. So I have 2 products that I think are exactly what cured it for me. Now I'm gonna say it took about a month of consistently using both of these to see them completely disappear. So first up, we're gonna talk about another chemical exfoliator. This one I use in the shower. This is the CeraVe Renewing SA Cleanser, which is salicylic acid. So if you ask professionals, they're going to tell you to use a salicylic acid on your KP, so that is what I did. I really wanted to be like an aesthetic influencer today and have brand new products to show you guys, and I actually ordered backups of both of these, but they just haven't arrived yet. So this is covered in hard water residue and it's almost gone, and the next product is hideous, but it's what worked for me. So this I actually rotate on and off with the next product, and the next product I'm going to say is the #1 reason why I don't have KP anymore. So this is what I rotate on and off with the chemical exfoliator in the shower, and that is a physical exfoliator, and I'm laughing because it's so gross looking, but this is the Glossier Body Hero bar. I really wanted to show you guys like a fresh new one, but this is literally exactly what it looks like in my shower. It's so gross looking. It has like hard water on it, but this is a physical exfoliator. I believe it has like bamboo in it, like bamboo powder or something in it, and this is key. So for me and my KP, it needed a good scrub down, and I have tried like really rough sponges, I've tried loofahs, none of those touched it the way that this bar did. So it has a really tiny grit to it. It almost feels like sandpaper. So like I would not use this on your face. I would definitely use it on your body. So if you have KP on your arms or your thighs, go ahead and use this, but I wouldn't recommend such a harsh physical exfoliator on your facial skin. Oh, it smells so good. But this is $14, so it's an expensive little bar soap, but I've been using mine for a few months, so it's not one of those soaps that's really gonna disappear really quickly in your shower, if you know what I mean, especially if you just dedicate it to the areas that you have KP. So one day in the shower, use this, the next day use this, and just continue that process until the KP is gone. Hopefully it will work for you guys in significantly decreasing the KP. For me, it got rid of it. So I really wanted to hop on and share like this dream team with you guys, because if you're struggling, I know how hard it can be going through a bunch of different products and not seeing results. So just stick with the routine. It did take me a little while. I will say when I started using this, I saw a pretty dramatic decrease in the bumps right away, but I had to keep doing it and keep rotating in order for them to be completely gone. And you don't want to stop with the treatment either, because if there is some environmental factor or genetic factor that is causing the KP, that's not really going to go away. So you want to make sure that you are continuing on with the routine. So on top of this, you're not done yet. You have to make sure that you moisturize. So especially if you do have a skin type similar to mine, if you're prone to eczema or dry skin, you have to put that moisture back into your arms or your KP areas after you're done exfoliating. So I have suffered with eczema my entire life, specifically on my shins for some reason. I don't know why, I don't know what causes it, but I get flare-ups really bad if I don't use a certain type of body wash and lotion. So I'm going to talk about the lotion that I use, because this is the lotion that I trust after exfoliating my KP. I put this lotion on to make sure that the moisture is returned to my skin. So this is the Aveeno Creamy Moisturizing Oil, and it's not really oil, it's a white lotion. I'll show you guys. I have some self-tan on my hands, but I don't know why it says oil. I think it's just extra hydrating, but this is what I use on my shins. It's what I use on the back of my arms, all over my body every single night after I shower. This I trust with my whole body, so I want to share it with you guys, especially if you happen to be watching this and like maybe you don't relate to KP but you have eczema. Try this lotion. Oh my goodness, it is a game changer, but it's not available everywhere. I don't think that Target carries this, which just makes me mad because I'm constantly repurchasing it, but you can find it at Walmart and I think on Amazon. So yeah, you guys, I don't often feel compelled to share a video like this, but because I feel like so many people, I think it's something like 3 million people struggle with KP, I really wanted to share what works for me, because you just never know who you're gonna help. So I hope that this helps you. Definitely let me know and slide in my DMs. I love to hear your success stories based on my product recommendations. It makes me feel like I'm doing something important, you know? So please, if you try it, let me know how it works for you. And now I'm gonna talk a little bit about my random eczema flare-up. So if you don't care about that, thank you for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up. The products will be listed down below. And if you're here for the random eczema story, here we go. So I don't know why I am just blessed with the weird skin problems, but here it is. So I was minding my business last night, sleeping like normal, and all of a sudden the crease of my neck started itching like crazy. It's such a weird area to itch. And it just kept getting worse and worse and just spreading. And I remembered from the night before that I was complaining that my ears were itching, which was super, super weird. I did not know what the heck that was. I don't usually suffer with allergies. I think this might have been allergy or eczema or both. It was so bad that it woke me out of my sleep and I started like scratching. Thankfully I have acrylic nails so I can't break my skin anymore. I really suffered with that as a child because then you can get infections. But I'm like scratching my chest and I woke my boyfriend up and I was like, this is like agony. I can't deal with this. I don't know what's going on. And it was really bad around my chest. It was really bad on my neck, my ears. It was just torture. So I took a Benadryl and I got on Reddit, and you want to know what I think it is? It's my mulberry silk pillowcase. So I just switched to a silk pillowcase a couple weeks ago, maybe not even a couple weeks ago, maybe like 1 week ago. And I have been noticing my neck itching lately, and I sleep with my pillow kind of like shoved into my neck, and my scalp has been a little bit flaky. I don't know if that's TMI, but I have never dealt with dandruff. Even with all of my dry skin issues, I have never dealt with it. So I've noticed like along my hairline, there's been some flaky dryness, and I'm like, what is happening to me? I genuinely believe that I'm allergic to my mulberry silk pillowcase from Kitsch. So I stumbled upon the Reddit forum of people who think they're allergic to mulberry silk, and I really believe that it's a thing. So I don't know what aspect of it I'm allergic to, if there's a chemical that they use during the process, or if it's the silk itself, because it's not the most expensive silk in the world. I think the pillowcases are probably around $20 to $30. So I got in a whole forum about good silk and bad silk, and it might be spandex, it might be silicone, I'm like, oh my goodness. So if you suffer with eczema, you know how big of a deal like a random irritant like that can be, because if I would not have figured that out, I probably would be suffering every single night, you know, because of the damn pillowcase. But I didn't think you could be allergic to a pillowcase. So just a random story for you. And if you happen to randomly suffer with like itchy neck, itchy ears, itchy scalp, and you're like maybe breaking out in your face area, it might be your pillowcase if you have one of those silk pillowcases. I thought that was the weirdest thing, and I just wanted to share it with you because this stuff happens to me a lot. But yeah, eczema can be a real beast to deal with. So I really feel for you guys if you're dealing with any of these skin concerns, because it's been an entire life journey of mine dealing with them, and I would not steer you wrong. I hope this works for you if you guys use my recommendations. If it doesn't, contact a dermatologist. Hopefully they can help you out more than this, but maybe this is a good place to start. So yeah, that is it for this video, my little story, my little cure to KP. I'm gonna leave another video linked down below that I actually watched that I found to be really informative on KP itself, because it is like such a random thing. I like to inform myself so I can understand maybe what is causing it for me. Which is what brought me to that like whole maybe it's my car kind of thing. I don't know. We will find out in the summer if it gets worse when I start wearing tank tops again. I will let you guys know. But as of right now, we're completely smooth in the back of the arms, and I want to help you guys out as much as I can. I'm sorry if this video was long. I wanted it to be really quick, but it's been a while since I filmed, so I feel like talking. But thank you guys for watching and for hanging out with me. Make sure you follow me on my other social media, specifically Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat. I'm actually over there a lot too, because I post a lot more frequently over there, and I would love to have you slide in my DMs. Please, if any of these things help you, I'd love to know that. And hopefully I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye guys.